Welcome to Tomes and Tales. In today's video, I'm going to recommend 5 episodes of Tales of the Unexpected that I think you should watch. Tales of the Unexpected ran from 1979 to 1988. It started on British TV and was originally based on the works of Roald Dahl, the famous children's story writer. Dahl had done a lot of written work in terms of short stories which had macabre twists. They generally didn't go into the supernatural, they were grounded in the modern world. Dahl has always been one of my top 2 favourite authors along with Robert Louis Stevenson. Both of them were experts at children's stories and for doing darker fiction as well. Tales of the Unexpected was mandatory viewing for me as a kid. I was a sucker for a twist ending, and I was always trying to anticipate where the story was going to go. And it was a big influence on me as a storyteller through the rest of my life. Now, it's hard to review some of these stories without getting into twists. That's the whole point of them. So I will do spoilers, but I'll save those for the end of the video. So you can just watch these 5, and if you want to find out for yourself what happens, you can just stop the video. But if you can't resist, stay to the end and I'll just tell you. So with all that said, number 5, I would start with Would You Believe It? This one's set in the Middle East, Jordan to be precise, and it's about 2 shady characters who are trying to smuggle statues and antiquities out of the area. So the story really plays out as like a race against time, and you've got the whole thing of, security people checking them, and it's a big smuggling operation. It's at night time, and there's a big storm raging as well. And the centerpiece of their operation is this incredible statue of a beautiful woman. And it's very, very lifelike. I'd start with that one. It doesn't tend to get rated that high, but I think it's awesome. Next up, number 4, A Harmless Vanity. This is a fairly straightforward story, and it's about a lady who realises her husband is having an affair with a much younger woman in the office. So she decides to do something about it. She gives herself a makeover, she learns as much as she can about the mistress, and she gets quite competitive with her. So she arranges a meeting at the beach, a little get-together, and she can try and intimidate the girl and learn more about what's going on. So they meet at the beach, and it's quite awkward because it turns out that they have exactly the same bathing suit on. And it goes from there, and I think it's quite a brutal ending, and you'll enjoy it. Number 3, Lamb to the Slaughter. This one's been adapted on other TV shows as well, and it's about a lady who is bullied by her husband. He's a police officer, and in a moment of violence, she has a frozen leg of lamb which she hits him over the head with, kills him. And the rest of the story is about her figuring out what to do. So she takes the leg of lamb, shoves it in the oven to put it away, and then the police come and the investigation plays out. And the ending is just really, really Roald Dahl. I'll put it that way. Number 2 is The Landlady. This is another one of the early episodes, and it's been adapted again on other TV shows as well. And it's about a young man who arrives late in a British seaside resort, and he sees a bed and breakfast, checks in, and there's no other guests there at the moment, and there's a nice old landlady there. And he looks through the guest book as he's signing in, and it's been a while since he's had other guests, but there's something eerily familiar to him about the names of the previous guests. I love this one, and I've watched it many, many times. Now, the TV show does go further than the story. Roald Dahl's written fiction tends to be implied. With television, it's harder to do it that way. It's much more explicit, but in this case, it works to great effect. And that leaves us with number 1. Oh boy, this one terrified me. Really, really bothered me. And it's called The Flypaper. Now, this one wasn't written by Roald Dahl. This happened after about season 2. They ran out of his original material, so they got other writers involved in the show. And The Flypaper was based on a very short story by a lady named Elizabeth Taylor, not the actress. And the backstory to it is there are child murders happening in East Anglia, in east part of England. and there's a young girl who's the centre of the story, and she's being followed by a very, very creepy old guy. And he follows her all the way through the story. There's a moment where he like peeps in through her bedroom window to watch her. It's really horrible. But he starts following her on the bus on the way home. Unfortunately, there's somebody else there who intervenes. And I don't want to say any more. It's very simple, but it's really, really bleak and chilling. And it's not just my number one for the show. It's regularly most people's top pick. You don't see shows made like that one anymore. So, with all that said, let me know what you think of the show generally. What are your favourite episodes? Did you like my picks? Did you watch any of those? Do comment and like and subscribe to my channel. I do my own material on here. But if you like this kind of video, I'll do more episodes of Tales of the Unexpected and Alfred Hitchcock Presents, other shows that had a big influence on me. And if you want to drop now, I'm about to go into the spoilers for each of those 5. So this is your last warning, okay? Alright, you're still here. Here are the spoilers, okay? Number 5 for Would You Believe It? It's not a statue, it's actually Lot's wife from the biblical times. When she looked back on the city of Sodom and Gomorrah, she was transformed into salt. So that's why when the thunderstorm happens, the rain comes down, she's washed away. Awesome. Number 4, a harmless vanity. It turns out that the husband had actually planned a hit job on his wife at the beach that day, and he has somebody waiting to drown her in a frogman outfit. What he hadn't counted on, of course, is that his mistress is wearing the same costume, and she's the one who goes out and swims, and she's the one who gets killed. Number 3, lamb to the slaughter. The wife cooks the leg of lamb and feeds it to the police officers, and therefore gets rid of the evidence. Brilliant. Classic Roald Dahl. Number 2, the landlady. She's a taxidermist. The house is full of pets and who she's stuffed. The names in the book are previous guests that she's had who she's murdered and has stuffed just like the animals. And that's what she does, well, obviously, to this hapless guest. And number 1, the flypaper. The clue really is in the title. The lady who intervenes on the bus and shows the act of kindness to the young girl and tries to lead her to safety is actually the partner of the creepy guy. It's a team operation, and like flypaper, she's the sweetness that lures somebody in, and he's the poison that kills them off. It is so brutal and bleak, but brilliantly, brilliantly done. So, there you go. Let me know what you think.